What's up, combatants? In this video I'm going to take a look at the Mortal Kombat storylines that were suggested but never followed through. It's Mortal Kombat What If stories. Now before I start, I'm going to lay down some ground rules. Since the majority of Mortal Kombat endings are in fact what if endings, I'm only going to take a look at storylines that are intertwined with 2 or more Mortal Kombat endings. And in this video I'm only going to look at endings from Mortal Kombat X, since that game has the most connected what if storylines in its endings. Now before I start the video, if you like learning more about Mortal Kombat lore and story, please head on over to my channel MK Temple, subscribe and click the bell to get notifications every time I post a new video. Without further ado, let's get on with the video. In Mortal Kombat X, there are 5 different what-if storylines intertwined between multiple characters, so here they are. The first storyline, Shang Tsung Resurrected. We see this storyline intertwined with Ermac's and Cassie Cage's endings. After the events of Mortal Kombat X, Ermac returned to the labyrinth corridors of Shao Kahn's old fortress. He was searching for a faint voice that was calling to him. A wisp of dust brushed Ermac's chest. From it, one of Ermac's many souls broke free from him. The dust took the form of a man, and soon after soul was being sucked from Ermac into the man. Shang Tsung had returned and used Ermac to regain his strength. Word of a soul stealer would eventually reach Raiden, who sent Cassie Cage on a mission to investigate. Cassie traveled to Outworld to the last known location of the Soul Stealer's activity. Cassie confronted a withered old man who fought desperately but was defeated. As the old man lay dying in a pool of his own blood, Cassie asked his name, to which he replied Shujinko. Maybe Cassie should have asked questions before pummeling an old man to his death. Now, had Netherrealm Studios not gone with the time displacement story of Mortal Kombat 11, this storyline could have worked to bring Shang Tsung back on the roster and also explain why Ermac wasn't included. What if story number 2? Kung Lao becomes human. Again, kind of. This storyline is intertwined between Kung Jin and Kung Lao's endings. After Shinnok was defeated in MKX, Kung Jin's family created a statue in his likeness to be included in Raiden's revered collection. Kung Jin set out to find his cousin Kung Lao and found him as a revenant in the Netherrealm. Kung Jin wanted to help his cousin break free of his revenant form. Jin believed that the Shaolin were stronger than any sorcerer's spell and vowed to help Kung Lao fight off the evil that had remade him. Together, their strength repelled the evil sufficiently enough for Kung Lao to escape the Netherrealm and control his inner demons. Kung Lao now existed as an agent of vengeance, showing no mercy to evil and evildoers. Now, since Kung Lao's revenant form is still evil in MK11, I guess Kung Jin never made his way into the Netherrealm to search for his cousin. What if storyline number 3, Infiltrating the Red Dragon. This storyline is intertwined between Takeda and Kenshi's endings. This storyline actually makes a lot of sense to be canon or semi-canon and would explain why Kenshi and Takeda were absent initially during Mortal Kombat 11. First, a little backstory. For years, Special Forces agent Kenshi had been infiltrating the Red Dragon. Eventually, the clan discovered his identity and murdered his former lover Su-Chin. Kenshi was able to get to his son Takeda before the Red Dragon did, and Kenshi put him under the protection of the Shirai Ryu. There, Takeda would spend most of his childhood training to become a ninja warrior. After Shinnok's defeat in Mortal Kombat X, Takeda teamed up with his father, and together they set out to find and kill the man responsible for Su-Chin's murder, Red Dragon leader Dagon. Using Special Forces tech, they were able to locate the clan's base and disguise themselves as they infiltrated their way into their ranks. They came across the Dragon Karo, a prisoner of the clan, who told them about the Red Dragon leader Dagon and the crimes he had committed. Karo told them that it was Dagon who killed Su-Chin. Karo used his magic to transport Kenshi and Takeda to a faraway cave. There, they would find a man encased in a stalagmite. Karo told them that this man would have reason to help Kenshi and Takeda take down Su-Chin's killer. Takeda freed the man, Taven, from his stalagmite, and Kenshi told Taven that his brother Dagon was responsible not only for the murder of Su-Chin, but for Taven's parents as well. Together, Kenshi, Takeda, and Taven laid siege to the Red Dragon base and killed Dagon, avenging the deaths of Su-Chin and Taven's parents. I love this storyline because it just fits so well into the narrative of every character involved. However, there is a minor issue with it, and that is that Dagon was not Su-Chin's killer, so right from the get-go it's not canon. Although Dagon may have given the order to kill Su-Chin, we know from the MKX comics that Su-Chin was actually shot dead by an unnamed Red Dragon member. Still, I can see how this story could be semi-canon if Netherrealm Studios wanted it to be. What if story number 4, Erron Black attacks the Special Forces. This storyline is intertwined between 3 MKX endings, Erron Black, Jax, and Sonya. Erron Black had been instructed to kill the young Earthrealm warriors who had caused his employer, Kotal Khan, much inconvenience. After Shinnok's defeat, Johnny Cage was recovering in the hospital and asked Jax to fill in for him as leader of his squad. Jax agreed, seeing as it would allow him to spend time with and protect his daughter Jackie. While boarding their transport after a routine mission, Erron Black sprung from the cargo bay, firing on the young heroes. Jax's quick reflexes and his bulletproof arms deflected the assassin's rounds. allowing him to subdue Black. Jax then slipped into shock as a red stain engulfed his chest. Jax had been shot. Sonya, exhausted from recent orders, fell into a deep sleep. She had a nightmare where Kano was holding Jax and Cassie hostage and forcing her to choose which one would live. Sonya chose Cassie, and Kano shot Jax in the head. She awoke screaming to Johnny Cage at her bedside with horrible news that Jax had been shot dead. And finally, the fifth and biggest What If storyline in MKX featured and connected with 5 MKX endings, Raiden attacks Outworld. This storyline can be connected to the endings of Bo' Rai Cho, Kotal Kahn, Quan Chi, Raiden, and Scorpion. It appears that Netherrealm Studios seriously considered this as the storyline for Mortal Kombat 11 if they were going to attach 5 different character endings to it. We even see this story beginning to take hold at the end of MKX's story mode and at the beginning of Mortal Kombat 11 story mode where Raiden is torturing Shinnok. Kotal Kahn even makes reference to this story in Mortal Kombat 11, meaning that the foundation for the story is canon, but it was never fleshed out.
Everything changed after your defeat of Shinnok.
Shinnok's defeated?
Our realms joined to fight him. But in victory, you were hardened. To protect Earthrealm, you lashed out at all realms you deemed threats.
Anyway, here's how the story plays out according to the MKX endings. Scorpion began feeling remorse for his role in resurrecting Shinnok. His desire for vengeance against Quan Chi had brought Earthrealm to the brink of destruction. Scorpion offered to perform Harakiri to atone for his defense, but Raiden suggested a more productive alternative. Raiden imbued Scorpion with a small portion of the Jinsei's power, linking him to Earthrealm's essence. Unbeknownst to Scorpion, Raiden was using him and his clan as his enforcers to protect Earthrealm. Raiden had become tired of fending off Earthrealm enemies for the past millennia. When Kotal Kahn returned home to Outworld to rebuild, Raiden and the Shirai Ryu attacked Khan's armies, decimating the Emperor's forces. Raiden then claimed dominion over Outworld and sought to do the same with any other realm that posed a threat to Earthrealm. Desperate, Kotal Kahn called upon the Elder Gods to help in preserving his sovereignty. They granted his request, provoking the most sacred of contests. Once every decade, Kotal Kahn would enlist his greatest defenders to face Raiden's challengers in Mortal Kombat. Having learned that Outworld was now protected by the Mortal Kombat tournament, Bo' Rai Cho returned to his homeworld. Bo was no friend of Kotal Kahn, but believed that no realm deserved subjugation. Much like he used to do with Earthrealm so many years ago, Bo' Rai Cho began training Outworld warriors for the fight to come. With his fighting skills and leadership, Outworld repelled the Earthrealm aggressors. Quan Chi was a longtime servant of Shinnok, and his role in freeing him from imprisonment had not gone unnoticed from the Elder Gods. With Shinnok defeated, he was no longer a threat, but his actions had given rise to a new power, Raiden. The Elder Gods derived a plan to rebalance this power before it grew further. They stripped Quan Chi's soul of his free will and instead gave him a single directive: kill Raiden. Now, Quan Chi's ending might be a little bit of a stretch to include here, seeing as he was killed in MKX's story. However, I was always under the impression that after his death, the Elder Gods took possession of his soul and then resurrected him to eliminate Raiden. This storyline would have been interesting and a unique flip to the overall MK narrative. I would have loved to see this story play out a little further, but unfortunately it did not. Which What If storylines would you like to see in the Mortal Kombat universe? Sound off in the comments below, and as always, it would mean a great deal to me if you give my video a big thumbs up. For more Mortal Kombat lore and story, please subscribe to my channel MK Temple if you haven't done so already, and hopefully I'll see you next time on my next video.